Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Amy and I am here with another haul from Vacation Haul. I'm gonna be filming maybe 3 videos today. The first of which is going to be my non-thrifty items. These are things that I went and bought from actual stores. And I thought I would give you kind of a glimpse into cabin life and what I've been crafting. Yes, I did bring those things out here. All right, so first of all, cabin life. So if I can figure out how to link to the Vrbo link for this cabin, I will do so in the description below, or I'll pin it to the comments or something, just in case you want to see inside the house that we've been staying at this week. If I'd been really on top of my game, I would have made everybody stay in the car when we first got here, and I would have filmed a video while everything was clean, put together, all that stuff. But of course, we've now lived in it for almost a week, and I've got a lot of cleaning to do before we leave tomorrow. Well, not a lot of cleaning. I mean, I'm probably the messiest one here, let's be honest. But anyway, so check that out if you're interested. But basically, it's a pretty open floor plan, especially right in through here. So we've got the kitchen behind me. We've got your Be Bear Aware sign because we are in the Smoky Mountains, so you do need to kind of pay attention to that. We've got the cicada and all of, or whatever kind of bugs are outside making lots of noise. There is a deck out front. We're not really outdoor people per se, so we're not enjoying those kind of outdoor things. There was also a fire pit in the very back of the backyard. We did not do anything with that. I guess we've just been busy enjoying other things. But there's a living room right over here in this open space, and it had a L-shaped couch, 2 recliners, and the L-shaped couch had a bed, so that's where Gregory's been sleeping, and it's got a TV, a fireplace. We haven't used the fireplace either. And then it's got a whole hallway that is a wall of windows, and there is a kind of like a Pac-Man, I think it's got more than Pac-Man, but it's like one of those games in an arcade, right? An arcade game. And then it's got another couch and a table in that hallway. And then straight back this hallway, there's a laundry room, which we've been washing towels every day because they've been swimming every day. And then there is a bedroom that's got 2 bunk beds, and these are sturdy bunk beds. They're not like Walmart brand kind of bunk beds like we used to have. They're super sturdy. So the bottom of each bunk bed is I was gonna say it's a queen, but it might be a double or a full, whatever you want to call it. And then it's got a twin on top. So there was room for technically 6 people to sleep in there, but we only had 3 sleeping in there. The girls slept in there. And then there was another bedroom past that the boyfriend, because we do, you know, once the kids get to a certain length of time with their, well, right now it's only boyfriends because my son is the youngest one and he's not, obviously not at that age yet. But so my oldest daughter, we did offer to bring her boyfriend and he accepted. So he's got his own room. And then there's a bathroom that all of them share. And then there's the master bedroom that Jason and I had that had its own bathroom. But of course, with 7 of us, some of them have been using our bathroom too. And it had a separate stand-up shower and then a huge jetted tub that 2 people could fit in, but nobody's used it because if I were to go in there, I wouldn't be able to get back out. Like, I like to take baths, but I have to be able to, you know, get myself back up, and I wouldn't have been able to out of a huge tub like that. And there's just something about jetted tubs that I don't like using somebody else's jetted tub because I just don't feel like they're very easy to clean, if I'm being honest. So, so that's kind of the inside of the house, and then out the back door, there is a in-ground pool, and it's got a dome over it, so it can be fully enclosed. So if you were to rent this house during the winter, you'd still be able to go swimming because it's a heated pool and it's completely covered. Now, when we first got here, it was like a sauna in there because the water is very warm. It's not warmer than body temperature, but it is warmer than your standard heated pool. And the combination of that and having the dome closed created this sauna, like you walk in and your glasses fog up and that kind of thing. And so, but it would be great for your winter events, because I don't know how much snow it gets up here. I don't think I'd want to be traveling in this area if there were snow, because it's the mountains and you've got some, curves and, all that stuff. And I don't think I'd want to traverse that with snow. But if that kind of thing doesn't bother you, or you've got kind of vehicles, or maybe it really doesn't snow very much here, I don't know, then that would be an awesome, because the pool is really nice, you guys. It starts out at 3 feet deep, and then I think it goes to 5 feet. But it's got several places with stairs, so that, like, built-in stairs, not metal stairs, but built-in stairs. And one of them has a banister, what's that called, to help you get into the pool. But the stairs are kind of a rougher material so that you won't slip and fall. But then there's also different kind of stair kind of things around and other places around the pool in case you just want to sit in the water, but not, on the bottom of the pool. So it's been really nice. It's got a nice big patio around it with lots of chairs. And we ended up deciding, they did swim outside during the day on Monday, I think, but it was so sunny and hot. So they found that this time of year, it worked way better to swim at night with the dome open. And so that's what they've been doing. And so because of that, we bought some citronella candles at Walmart, and they've put those places, but the dome had lighting. So they've got light. And I swam with them one day. Well, swam with them. I sat in the pool because they're like playing. We got like cornhole and a raft for them to sit, like a 4-person raft that they could sit in, and some rings and stuff. So that did take up a lot of the space of the pool, and they were kind of really playing around and jumping, and all that stuff. And so I was just kind of sitting off to the side. But it was a really nice, and I thought about doing that today because right now they are out. They went to a trampoline park and to do some miniature golfing, and I am here so that I can do some cleanup, but also so I can film some videos in this space so that I can get a partial tax deduction on this trip. But and Jason was going to be playing Pokemon while they were doing that, so there really wasn't going to be much for me to do because I'm not going to be jumping on the trampoline park kind of thing. But yeah, so I thought about going swimming today with the dome closed while they were gone, but then I was like, what happens if a bear comes, or what happens if I get locked out of the house? But the house has security keypads, so that really wouldn't be a problem. But I'm here in the middle of nowhere by myself, so I decided I didn't really want to go swimming. But yeah, so that is kind of it. It rained last night for the first time since we've been here. So otherwise the weather's been really good, and it's really good right now. Although I do believe we're supposed to get some more. I'm like looking up here because there's a window right in front of me. I'm sitting this way because I had to turn this fan off because it would have been quite annoying in the video, but it's got a light, so I had to open the blinds on the window so I could get some natural light in here. But yeah, it's supposed to rain a little bit more today, and we are scheduled to go to Mama's Farmhouse tonight for dinner. And I'm really excited about that because that's family style dining. And I think tonight they've got fried chicken, country fried steak, and ham are the 3 meats. And then you get to pick, I think, 4 different sides that are refillable, all you can eat kind of deal or whatever. Now, I will say, before I was on Mounjaro, those kind of meals were like super exciting to me because it was all you could eat. And all you can eat now means something totally different to me because I can't eat a whole lot. And if I do, I would probably be sick. But I really, really love family style dining, and there's really nowhere near me where I live that does that. So I'm looking forward to that. But then yesterday, I'm trying to think of what we've done since I did my last video. But yesterday, Wednesday, it was our thrift shopping because all the kids they didn't want to do the antiquing, but they did want to do the thrift shopping. So we went to a Goodwill and we went to Buc-ee's. There is a Buc-ee's here in Sevierville, fairly new, I think. So we did some shopping there, and shoot, I hope I've got, yes, I think I've got my Buc-ee's stuff in there too. Well, I think I only got one thing, and some of the stuff was Jason's, and I think he's already put it in with his stuff. So I guess I won't have those things to show. And then we did just a local thrift store here in town, which really, when you think about it, overall, I was not impressed with their thrift store options here because most of the people that are, like, I don't know what the population is of this area, but I imagine it's kind of low just because the majority of people that are here are vacationers. And the majority of license plates that you see are not Tennessee. So there's probably slightly more, well, I guess I should say slightly more vacation plates than Tennessee plates from what I've experienced. Now, granted, I'm tending to be on the main roads here in town, but I think obviously they have to have a decent population to staff all of these places that the vacationers are going to, but I don't know. There just doesn't, the thrifting stuff we found just didn't, I mean, there was tons of clothes. There's always tons of clothes, but the other things, there just wasn't a lot of. So yeah, the thrifting, even though I've got some stuff that I'm gonna show in the next video or two, just wasn't as good as some stuff, I guess. And then we got some food at Buc-ee's, and our main meal out yesterday was the boyfriend's choice. Each kid and me, Jason didn't want to pick a day, got to pick a meal place to go each day. So yesterday was the boyfriend's, and he picked a place called Brick and Spoon, which was like a breakfast brunch place. And several of them got the stuffed French toast sliders, which were I guess the inside of the slider was a cream cheesy kind of thing, and then a berry compote on top. And then Gregory got like a bananas Foster kind of French toast, and Jason got deep fried bananas. It was a appetizer or a starter or whatever. And then Gracie got a spicy chicken sandwich. And I just did a la carte because I really, really wanted some cheese grits, and none of the meals came with cheese grits. So I ended up just doing cheese grits, bacon, and 2 scrambled eggs with cheese. And it was all really good. And then what did we do the day before that? I don't even remember now. Like, I'm trying to think because I can't remember what day I filmed. That was probably the day I filmed the video. But I'm trying to think of what I've told you guys about the Sunliner Diner or the Sun Diner or whatever it was. was the other meal? Maybe that's it, because if that was Tuesday, no. Okay, see, this is what happens when you're on vacation. All the days run together. Gregory's dinner choice was Tuesday, and he picked Quaker State and Lube, which, you know, you think of like the oil, but it was wings. They have other things on the menu, but we got wings, and we got them to go so that we could eat here at the house, and so they could swim some more. And I sat and crafted while they played Jackbox games last night. And so I guess that can transition, so I can show you what I've been crafting while I've been here. If you saw my earlier video, I showed you guys a super huge French dictionary from 1931. So I've already started cutting, to some people's horror, I've already started cutting it up. But you guys, nobody's gonna buy a French dictionary just to have a French dictionary, are they? Here in America? That sounds bad, but I don't think they would. I think people would buy it to do what I'm doing with it. So I've already started, I haven't even gone through that much, but I've already gotten almost 80 of these cutouts that I can use for making tags and stuff. So I'll be gluing these onto other things. But so I just really like these, and I might tear some corners or whatever to make it look a little bit more authentic, but it's pretty authentic as it is. I mean, it is 1931. So I've already done a bunch of those. So that's what I was sitting kind of cutting these out while they were playing Jackbox games. And then the scraps, which I had a bunch of scraps, these I'm gonna make packs of these scraps for my Etsy shop, so they'll drop when I do my big Labor Day sale. If I were smart, I would film my channel commercial while I'm here and then use that. Then I also told you guys I was coffee dyeing paper while I was here, and I've had some success, because I forgot my squirt bottle that I was gonna put the coffee into to use with my stencils. I didn't bring any of the stencils over, but for some of these pages you'll be able to see. But the first round that I did paper, stencil, paper, stencil, paper, stencil, you know, and kept going. And most of those, the coffee ended up just consuming the whole piece of paper, and so it really just looks like a plain piece of coffee dyed paper. Some of them it's a little bit embossed where the stencil was, but otherwise you can't really tell. So then the next day I did paper stencil, paper stencil, so that there was extra paper in there to help absorb some of the coffee, and that worked a little bit better. And then the last one that I've been doing is paper, stencil, paper, and that's it, so that it doesn't get weighed down, because I'm literally doing these on top of each other. And so that way it didn't get weighed down with extra coffee and stuff, and that's been working okay. But I'll show you some of the better ones first. I'm not gonna show all of them, but so far, these are the ones that have dried. So you can see here, this is just kind of a, this is one of the ones that's more embossed. Let's see if we can, I don't know if we'll be able to see it very well. Okay, you can kind of see the patterns there. So it's kind of embossed, but it's not really very noticeable unless you're really looking for it. So otherwise it's really gonna just seem like a standard piece of coffee dyed paper. So a lot of, like I said, those first days kind of looking like that. Some of them have a little bit more color. Like this one has a little bit more color, and you can sort of see the design a little bit better. And some of the edges are a little bit darker, just based on their placement in the pile. So this one I would say is not too bad. You can sort of start to see the design and the embossing. This one's kind of the same. It's like a Rorschach test, but you can kind of see the raised or the embossing. But some of these would pick up the embossing from one stencil, but the coloring from another stencil. So that's how you get this kind of a weird look. And then just another one that's, you can see the embossing a little bit, but not really any color. Okay, so then I have some that are darker because after the first batch, I decided maybe the coffee just wasn't darker, and I'm using an instant coffee, so I just added some more crystals or whatever they're called to get some that would be a little bit darker, and then you start to get more of the design, but not always, because here it's darker, but it just looks like a mess. I'm still gonna use it, but it's just not quite as pretty as I might have hoped. And then some of them, you kind of get this kind of burnt edge look. So it kind of looks like it's been scorched. And of course you've got the creases from, so I had them on like a baking grate over like a cookie sheet so that I didn't just get coffee everywhere. So you can kind of see these kind of crease lines too. Oh yeah, this one probably was on the bottom because you can see the actual grate lines. And sometimes the edges might be just a little bit sticky from the coffee, so I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do about that. Probably nothing, but all right, okay, here's one that definitely got a lot of, I don't know, it's kind of cool looking. You kind of think of it as like kind of burnt or having been sitting by the fire. But, so in general, I'm happy with the results just because I have a variety now. And although I learned from this that really the best one ended up being the paper, stencil paper, and that's it. And it dries like super fast. So I don't think that would be too hard to continue doing in my own kitchen. And then there were some where the coffee didn't quite make it all the way to the edge of the paper. And then these turned out pretty good, I think. Both sides. And I think so these two, yeah, these two were actually when I was doing the, were they? I was gonna say when I was doing the paper stencil paper, but I think these were actually when I was doing the paper stencil paper. And so one came out way better than the other. But, yeah, so I've got, oh, and here's one that you could kind of see the grate. So I'm gotta work to get all the rest of the pages that I've done dried before tomorrow. So after this video, I'll probably go clean up every piece of counter space that there is so I can just lay them all out flat and then they'll dry like that. So that's been my craftiness. But you guys, being here is kind of like being on Biggest Loser. You know, on Biggest Loser, people would lose gobs and gobs of weight, and because all they had to do every day was exercise, eat right, and you know, whatever else they had, but they weren't living in real life. And so once I go back to living in real life, I'm not gonna get as much time to craft like this because I'm gonna have to be picking and choosing what I do. So I gotta enjoy it while it lasts. Hi, let me take a brief moment out of our video to let you know that today's video is sponsored by Junk for Goats. Junk for Goats is my business where I sell and resell vintage, antique, and some modern ephemera for all of your junk journaling or crafting needs. I have shops on Etsy, Whatnot, and I list my digital items on my coffee shop. All of the links for those are below in the description, so please check that out. It's also important to note that 10% of all the proceeds from my sales are used to purchase goats from Compassion International. Those goats are provided to families across the world to help them meet their own families' needs in terms of their diet, but they can also take and sell the milk and the cheese that they produce from their goats to their friends and family nearby, helping to provide them with a income source that is valuable in the areas in which they live. So if you would like to craft with a difference, please check out the description below. And as always, thank you, and please enjoy the rest of the video. Thanks. All right, so some of the real things. So we also did outlet mall shopping yesterday, if I didn't mention that. So I was looking up the differences between this area and Branson. Well, Branson is more known for its shows. They have a lot more well-known names for their shows, so it's a bigger entertainment kind of area. Here is really well known for their outlet mall, or their, you know, that kind of thing. And even though Branson has that and has the same, it's Tangier or Tanger, it's just not as big as the one here. So we went to the one here, and I think there's multiple outlet. I mean, there's the biggest knife store, you know, so there's those kind of individual places, but then we went to the big outlet mall area where it's an outdoor mall. But so we went to Hot Topic and Boxed Lunch, Converse and Adidas. So I didn't go into Converse and Adidas. Two of the girls got tennis shoes from Converse, and Gabby got stuff from Adidas. And then several of us got things from Boxed Lunch, and I think there might have been a few people that got stuff from Hot Topic. But even though this was an outlet mall, I expect outlet malls to be reduced pricing, and maybe it is, but you can't tell because it doesn't show it's not like a Marshall's where it shows the original price and then what they've discounted it to. So I don't know if they're discounted or not, or if it's just that they got the stuff that other stores couldn't sell, or if outlet malls are just stocked like regular stores, because these things all seemed super expensive. Now I'll start with the first thing because I got it at Walmart in the clearance section. So I should put this over here on the other chair so I can reach it better. But I need another cup, like a hole in the head, but I thought this one was cute. I think it was only a couple bucks, and it's plastic. I have obviously some glass ones of these from Temu, but I have a hard time passing stuff up when it's such a good price. But I saw several in Boxed Lunch, several Stanley cups that were strawberry shortcake themed that I would have loved to have bought even just one of them. And I saw several at Buc-ee's. I don't know why I keep looking over here. I have a hard time in real life looking people in the face while I'm talking to them the whole time. But there were several at Buc-ee's too that I would have loved to have gotten, but I couldn't really justify the price because I already have one from Temu. And how often do I use it? Well, not very often. Now Jason uses his all the time. So he actually got I think he got this at Boxed Lunch, like a insulated, I want to say backpack, but it's more like a crossbody bag that he can put his cup in that'll hold it, and then it could also hold your wallet and keys and stuff. So he got one of those, which, you know, makes more sense than like me just stocking up on a bunch of Stanley cups that I don't need. But I did get some strawberry shortcake themed things. So I got this. Did I bring scissors over here? No. So we'll just look at, this is what it's supposed to look like when it's unfolded. And this was from the boxed lunch, $13.90. So I don't know, maybe I should do we have two boxed lunches that we could get to reasonably because they have a points program too. So we earned a bunch of cash back with our purchases, but it is a really kind of a cool store. And just like Five Below has a lot of strawberry shortcake things, Hot Topic does also. And they had a backpack there that I would have loved to have had, but it had some of Strawberry Shortcake's friends on it too. And quite honestly, I really only like strawberry shortcake. I'm not interested in Orange Blossom or whatever the blueberry one is, or I think there's a raspberry one too. I'm not interested in those. I'm only interested in strawberry shortcake. So that kind of dissuades me from wanting to get it. But anyway, so there's that. And then I've gotten stickers from Five Below for strawberry shortcake, but then I found this 1,000 sticker book, and it's just full of strawberry shortcake stickers. Now it does have some of her friends, and that's okay in this kind of instance. But stickers are so popular right now, you guys. If you don't know that, you're not probably on Instagram and TikTok, but content creators are making boku bucks creating and selling stickers. It's crazy. So if you were somebody who liked creating digitals and had the right supplies, you could make a killing selling that kind of thing. All right, next, this was a shirt that I got at Buc-ee's because Buc-ee's is a pretty, this probably sounds strange to some of you, but some of the best things we've done on vacation have been going to these huge gas stations that have these huge stores. There was one in Iowa on 80, and I think it was like 80 in Iowa was the name of the stop. I don't know, but it was huge. It had semis inside, part of the store and stuff. It was cool. So yeah, so I got a shirt in large that to commemorate my visit to Buc-ee's. So this is what it had on the front, and I'm hoping, I think the large will be okay. The kids are telling me that I'm still wearing t-shirts that are too big, but I'm doing that because they're long and I still want to cover my butt. Like I'm still wearing stretchy kind of pants just because they're comfortable, and I don't really want my Ozempic butt showing to everybody. So sometimes you have to get a bigger size to get it longer. But this one's got this on the front and this on the back. Just a girl who loves Buc-ee's. But I really liked the colors, kind of retro theme here, and it's crazy, but this shirt's not gray or black. Aren't you proud of me? And then it looks like $18, and I don't know, some of these places have deals where, buy one, get a second one for so much percentage off, which I think the next two things I got a deal because they were at the box lunch. I don't know if there were any deals at Buc-ee's or not. So that may be what I actually paid. But then these next two things it was buy one, get one, 30% off. Now, of course, the 30% off comes off the cheaper item, and I didn't get two things even closely the same in price. This first one was $34.90, and you guys, the Mystery Machine Scooby-Doo shirt, and look at how cute this is. And even with it on the sleeves, now this is a decal, but it's a pretty nice decal. It is a soft cotton, right? Yes, it is 100% cotton. Was the Buc-ee's one 100% cotton? It was 60% cotton, 40% polyester. So it's softer like this one, but this one's completely cotton, but it is a little bit softer. So I just love it so much. And the back. And the color, I love the color. So like I said, or maybe I didn't say, it was $34.90 Scooby-Doo. See, these are all the things from my childhood, right? So this one, okay, medium was the biggest size they had, so I did get it in medium. So it'll probably fit, but I may not feel quite as comfortable in it as I do with some of the other things I have, especially since it's cotton, so it won't be as stretchy. But I'm gonna wear it tomorrow on the way home, so we'll see. And then the last, oh no, not the last thing. Let me save that for last. So then I also got some matcha Oreos at the boxed lunch. At least I'm really hoping, I'm pretty sure it's matcha because you've got matcha powder up here. I love matcha, so yeah, so I had to get some Oreos. We were supposed to have tried these already, but we haven't. Yes, it is. It's Oreo ice cream matcha flavor. So let's open her up. And oh, it's got 2 individual containers of this, and I'm trying to see if there's a price on here. There's not a price on here. Let me get the receipt out and see. Oh, we also had a $5 reward at Box Lunch, so we did use it. And it's interesting, when they took the 30% off of the 2 items, they took some off of each item. I guess if you were to return one of them, you'd still get some credit. Okay, so Jason and the kids got several Bitty Pops. So if you, well, you guys have probably seen the big size pops, but now they've got Bitty Pops, which I think I've shown on the channel before, from Five Below maybe. But they found some Kuromi, some Hello Kitty, some Simpsons, and so they got those, but they kept those, so I don't have those to show you. Okay, where are the Oreos? Okay, the Oreos were only $5.77, which is quite expensive for 2 like this, but let's try it together. And I don't have, oh yeah, I've got some water over there in case I choke. I didn't really want, I hate when I accidentally do that. Okay. So we're not talking double stuffed Oreos, but look, that's got this cute, I don't know which way is up. Maybe this way. And then Oreo. Oh, I'm gonna have black in my teeth after this, great. Well, I'm not gonna lie, I can't really taste the matcha. I can taste the Oreo cookie, but that's kind of all I taste. But in fairness, I did brush my teeth right before this video. So yeah, the matcha is very, like, it literally has very little flavor, but there's not a whole lot of it on there. Yeah, just tastes like a chocolate Oreo. Well, that's kind of disappointing. Okay, last but not least, I saw this right when I first walked in. Now, I'm not a big fan of this color, if I'm being honest, and have you guys seen how, maybe I've talked about this on here already, but have you seen how what used to be Color Me Beautiful in the 80s has come back, and now there's all these, you can get like a plastic card that has, after you take your quiz, so I don't know if it's an app that everybody's using or what, but you take this quiz and it tells you what season you are, which people are acting like is such a novel idea, but you guys, this has been around since at least the 80s, if not earlier. I can't remember the lady's name, but I had her book that had the test, and how one of the ways you would figure it out according to her book was you would look at your iris. And depending on what color it was, and if it had other colors flecked in there, would help determine, plus your skin tone. And if you were more rosy versus olivey, that kind of thing. And so I'm a summer, but summers can also get away with wearing winter clothes, and summers, like, this is a summer kind of color. So this would be a summer color too. This would be more of an autumn fall color because it's, well, and it's also, you know, the cool, the warms, that kind of thing. So the summer, even though it doesn't make a whole lot of sense with summer because you'd think that's a warm, the summer and winter go together, and the spring and the autumn go together. But so this would be more of an autumn color. So I'm saying all that because I wouldn't normally wear this. But yeah, nowadays you can get these cards so that when you're going to the store, you can hold them next to things to match because the idea is that you will look way better in some colors than other colors. And let's not leave it up to chance anymore. Let's do this quiz and go from there. But anyway, I walked into the store and I saw this and I just fell in love because it's Winnie the Pooh, and it's a sweatshirt, so it'll be there for when I get to winter, but it's all embroidered. So no iron-ons here. Completely embroidered all around the sleeve. And then we've got Winnie the Pooh up here. And then this cute design down here at the bottom with the flowers and Pooh and all of his friends. And then the back looks like the same design on the back. So I just thought that was beautiful. I couldn't help it. The neckline is maybe not quite as big as I would like, but it is a soft, plushy inside. And I ended up getting it in XL. It was $65, and hopefully that will be big enough. I'm really hoping I can wear it with leggings. Just a comfy sweatshirt. It looks like it should be plenty long enough. So yeah, I was determined not to buy anything in the outlet mall because I'd been buying all these things in the antique and thrift stores, but I just loved all of these different things. So I guess those were my vacation presents that aren't work related, because I'm kind of considering all of the antique and thrifting stuff work related for my Junk for Goats Etsy shop. So that's all I've got for this video, and I don't have my nostalgic TV trivia cards with me here on vacation, but I just want to thank everybody for sharing some time with me. Please be sure to check out the description below where I've got links to all of my stores in case you are a crafty friend and want to check those out. My Etsy shop, probably by maybe by the time this airs, we'll be back open. I did close it for vacation, and it looks like you actually can't see things when the Etsy shop's closed for vacation. I don't know. But I have a Whatnot shop, and then I have my digitals on my coffee shop. So, because it was kind of confusing to me to have digitals intermingled with physical products on the Etsy shop, so I separated those out. So anyway, if you're so inclined, check that out. I do have a big drop coming in September for Labor Day weekend, and everything that drops that weekend will be on sale for 20% off. The things that are in the shop today will not be part of that sale, so you don't have to worry about waiting. If you see something that is currently in my shop, you can, snap it up now, and you won't have to worry about it later going on sale. All right, well, I want to thank all of my subscribers, all of my viewers, and my members. Thank you so much for your support of me and this channel, and for, like I said, sharing your time with me, because we all know time is valuable and you can't get it back once it's gone. So thank you so much. And wherever you are, whenever you are, I hope you're having a great day. And until we meet again, take care of yourself. Bye.